Hi, welcome back. This is the fourth Flipped Friday. It is for April 26th through April 30th. We're going to jump into the what solds of that week. But before we get started, if you're enjoying this content, please hit the like or subscribe or comment. It would mean the world to me and it would really help my channel get off the ground and get some momentum. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, Boppin' Head, Grim Bobblehead, Nodder, Skull Bones, Rose, Halloween figure open box. I bought him at a yard sale. I spent a lot of money at the yard sale. The lady had, some cool stuff and some not so cool stuff that would sell for a profit. But I wanted to help her out. She seemed like she really needed to make a few extra bucks. My average cost that day was $6.25. It sold on sale for $65. It might have been an offer, but I think it was on sale. The shipping was $14.99 and it sold in September. Next up is the Phillies Fanatic. It's a vintage 1987 Philly Fanatics. I don't know why I wrote it like that. PVC figure number 5 cake topper. The comps were not crazy on these things, but they were all over the place. I listed it for $8. It sold for $6. I'm lying to you. It went on sale and I was set an offer for $4, so I was like, okay with that. They paid $4.81 shipping, and that sold and that was listed in March. Up next, we have Dominions. This is a bins pickup. This is what I say when my husband likes to dig to the bottoms. I lotted these up. My average cost, my cost by weight was 63 cents. I weighed them out. I did the math because that's what I do. I don't know why. 63 cents. They sold for $8. That was probably an offer because it was on sale for $9.60. And they paid $6.39 shipping, and it was listed in September. Up next, this was a recent pickup at the Red, White, and Blue. I'm lying to you. It was a bins pickup, but it was so recent. My cost of goods was $2.25. They paid $18, $11.07, and it was $11.07 was what they paid in shipping. And it's the Nike Air Max XC women's size 9 multicolor tie-dyed sneakers, yard work. I think there was some discoloration. Yeah, the laces, and I did clean them off, but I did not do a thorough job. They sold for $18. That was probably an offer. I don't know why there's a lot of offers on these sales. I guess because it's only 20%. I ran sales according to my SKU. The longer I had it, the higher the discount was. I like to do that. I'll make a video on how to do that if anyone's interested. Just let me know down in the comments. Up next, this is a bins find. Again, my husband found it. Tupperware mini keychain Servalier. I don't know why that word is even in there. I don't know if I found that word while I was researching comps. Well, anyway, canister, strainer, round bowl set. And they didn't even like register on my scale when I weighed them, so I'm gonna say my cost was 5 cents. They sold for $10. $5.13 was the shipping, and they were listed in April. Up next, this little guy I've had for a very long time. I had trouble finding him when he sold. This is, where are we? Gangs, Webkins, Charcoal Cat, Longtail Plush, Stuffed Animal Toy, no code. It was a bins pickup, 65 cents. He sold for $8 and $5.58 shipping. He was a relist in April. I probably had him about a year. Up next is Tupperware. Again, these two Tupperware keychain things sold on the same day, almost back to back. I thought it was the same buyer. Again, they didn't weigh anything on the scale, so I put my cost of goods as 5 cents. They obviously cost me something, but it was hard for me to figure out. They sold for $8 and $5.52, and they again sold in April. Up next is the Playmobil. Playmobil, vintage Playmobil, Ghibli figures, yellow, lot of 2. They sold for $11.42. My cost was 21 cents, and they paid $4.81. The Tupperware was written in April. The Playmobil was a rewrite in April. And yeah, I just tripped myself up because I can't read my own notes. So up next is Fisher Price, Little People Disney replacement tropical guy. He was a heavier, thicker toy. That might be why he sold. He's not like the normal Little People I find. So he was a bins pickup, cost me about 30 cents, sold for $9, $5.90 shipping, and I wrote him in January. Up next is, I can't pronounce this, but it's a metal art figure, stone-based Native American. He sat in my death pile for a very long time before I wrote him. He was a bins pickup, 68 cents, $12 is what he sold for, $8.10 is what they paid in shipping, and he was written in October. Up next is Victoria Pink by Victoria's Secret Small Sleep neon shirt. It didn't sell for a lot. My cost of goods was 57 cents, sold for $10. It was a rewrite in January. I'm not sure when I picked this up. And $5.58 in the buyer paid in shipping. Up next, I've had this for a little while. It's a Denim Star print short, size 11, high waist jeans, dark wash by Vintage America. I don't think that's a good brand. I picked this up because it was around 4th of July last year. I picked up a handful of things that were patriotic, star stripe, flag themed, and this one just hung out for an entire year, like a year, or almost a year. And it was a bins pickup. My cost is $1.04, $9 is what it sold for, $8.50. Buyer paid in shipping, and it was a rewrite in September. These women's heeled ankle booties, size 8, brown zipped, leather Sonoma Goods for Life. They were red, white, and blue pickup. I recently bought those. Not so recently. I bought them in like September, October. I wrote them in October. $3 is my cost of goods. $18 is what they sold for, and $9.95 is what the buyer paid in shipping. These I've had for a year, maybe more. I thought they were cute. I thought they would do well. Girl studded sandals, size 4, flat pink strappy gladiator, zipped Tahari. They were bins pickup. My cost of goods that day was $1.20. $9.55 is what they sold for, and $7.70 is what the buyer paid in shipping. I rewrote these or relisted them in November. Up next is Pink by VS Seamless Leggings, women's large gray, workout, gym, activewear, and then I put the number that was inside the tag. They cost me, they were a bins pickup, they're about 72 cents. They sold for $10, and $6.30 was the shipping the buyer paid, and I rewrote them in August. Up next, this is another bobblehead from the yard sale. My average cost of goods was $6.25. It sold on sale for 40% off, $17.11 plus $8.10 shipping. I wrote this in September. Up next are some earrings. They came from a jewelry bag, probably from the Red, White, and Blues. That's where I get my jewelry bags. $1.72 was my average cost. They sold for $12 plus $4.49 shipping, and I wrote them in January. Now we're going to move on to my one and only Poshmark sale. I loved this sweater. I should have probably kept it. It was nice. The fringe was nice. The length was nice. It just had neutral colors. It's a women's cardigan, size medium. I misspelled the word sweater. Fringe, open front, 3/4 sleeve, boho, western by Unique. And this is $2.22. It was a bins pickup. Was my cost of goods. $18 is what it sold for. I think the buyer just either made an offer. I think I had it up for like 22. So the buyer made an offer of 18 and I accepted. There was no shipping discount. And next, my one and only Poshmark sale. Hallmark Itty Bitties plush Tinkerbell stuffed toy Disney Peter Pan. I was sent an offer of $7.55, and my cost of goods, it was a bins pickup, was about 10 cents, and I wrote this in March. So that is it for this week's What Sold. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you want more of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help my channel, and let me know this is the content that you enjoy, this type of content. Let me know what you think about the sales. What was your favorite flip? And I'll see you on the next one. So thank you. Bye-bye. What you think about the